Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video where today we are going to be fixing this awful sound on our Mini Cooper Countryman S. That is the friction wheel pulley. It sounds so bad, but today we're going to change it along with the Serpentine belt. So let's go ahead, get started, and see how to do it. That's right, many of y'all may have experienced this on y'all's Mini Cooper Countryman S, or in fact, many of the other Minis. This engine, for some reason, Mini decided it would be a great idea to use this really complicated system for the belt tensioner, and it just starts failing around, a little bit before 100,000 miles, which is exactly where we're at. We're around 98-ish thousand miles, and of course now we hear an awful squeaking sound from the belt, and we knew it was something related to the belt. So we looked it up, we've diagnosed it, and it is in fact this tensioner, this belt wheel idle drive pulley tensioner. It's a really weird long name, but basically, yeah, it just creates tension on the belt, but it starts failing and comes loose, and so the Serpentine belt just kind of starts wiggling around, flopping around, and the actual bearings in the friction pulley, they start wearing out and they start creating this awful sound, like this shrieking. I tried my very best to recreate it, but I couldn't. I don't know why. Obviously, Murphy's Law. When you don't want it, it sounds, but when you want to hear it, silence. Sounds healthy as ever, but it is not healthy, because if that fails, obviously the Serpentine goes out, and that just creates a lot of, problems that we don't need. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to fix this by removing the old tensioner pulley and replacing it with this. So here it is. This is what we're gonna be replacing. Obviously, this is the new one. Let's go ahead, open it up and check it out. So here it is. This is what we're replacing. And the main issue is that these bearings in here, they get old and they just start making this awful shrieking sound. And that's what we've been hearing, and it's really, really annoying. So we're gonna replace this, and this is super, super quiet, not a sound. The other one makes like a queak, 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 queak sound. It's awful. So I'm so happy that we're finally gonna replace this along with the Serpentine. And we're also gonna go ahead and replace the water pump pulley. This also starts wearing out, and sometimes it makes a sound, so we're gonna go ahead and replace it. Since we're already there, why not? The Serpentine belt, the water pump pulley, and of course the idler pulley friction wheel. All right, so here we are. I kind of forgot to mention, but we're gonna take off the wheel, because right here on this side, the passenger side, is where everything is. You can see the water pump wheel is right there, and our friend right there, everything is right here. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna go ahead and remove the liner. I believe we're only gonna have to take off, the front bit of the liner, probably not the rear, since everything is more towards the front of the front axle. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the liner, and then see how to remove those two bits right there, and then how to get the belt off as well. It's finally off, but I just have to mention, we've seen a lot of videos, we've seen a few videos of people removing the liner, and they all say it's like just a few screws. It is in fact not. I had to remove this, all of that over there, some more over here. It was not a few screws. It was like 20 screws, 4 pins. It wasn't that easy at all. It was just kind of annoying more than anything, just tedious, just a lot of everything. But it's finally off, and now of course, you can see the water pump wheel right there. So we're gonna go ahead and start trying to remove this. Okay, so I was wrong. This is in fact not the water pump. It is actually up there, obviously, hidden away. But you can see we have our tensioner right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get it looks like a 10 millimeter, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna find out right here, and I'm going to start unbolting it. There are 3 bolts, but the back one is gonna be very tough to get. I'm gonna have to probably, just feel it, get this off, and then once this is off, then of course we might have some more access to the water pump wheel, which is right there. Obviously, the frame is in the way. So yeah, that's gonna be really fun. But I'm gonna get this off first, just a few bolts, and then that one off as well. Then the belt, of course, obviously should be pretty loose since it's not being frictioned on or, tensioned on. So you can see here the belt looks fine, actually feels pretty fine, but we'll see. All right, here's where we're at. I don't know how funny I look right now, but I've been able to access all 3 bolts for the tensioner. It's very hard to show you, but you can see 1 bolt here, 1 bolt barely there, and 1 bolt here. These two, I was in fact able to use a regular 10mm wrench with this end to get it off. However, the trick is you have to do it completely perpendicular to the actual tensioner thing. So you can't do it at like an angle, you have to do it facing straight away, like 90 degrees away, because you might be able to see there's just a slight little bit of curvature between the actual tensioner and the bolt. So because of that, if you don't put it totally like 90 degrees against it, and you put it like slightly with it, it's not gonna actually let you put the wrench all the way down onto the bolts. Instead, it'll push it up, so you can't actually grab it. So if you actually put it like 90 degrees, like I said, you should have enough to play with it. This one, however, the back one right here, I was not able to do it no matter what I did, because the water pump wheel is in the way and it will not let me actually access it. So what I had to do is I had to go ahead and get a little offset wrench. You can see I got a 10mm here, just a little bit of offset, and just that offset was able to allow me to go over the water pump pulley and reach this. So this is just enough, and it's also, make sure it's very, very thin. If it were any thicker, it wouldn't actually let me go on because of that same little curvature, or that little hump, I guess you could say, that would not let you do it. So I had to go and get this little offset one. And now, of course, I can remove all three of these. And one thing real quickly is, before you do that, make sure to pull this little thing out so that you release the tension, pull it all the way, and then stick it on here. There we go. Now tension is removed from the tensioner, so it's just an You can see it moves around like that. Now we can go ahead and safely remove this, and then you can get the water pump pulley off. All right, so this is finally loose. I just got it off, took off all three bolts, and it's loose, but there's really no room for this to go. I cannot find a spot for this to like exit from. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it on here loose, and I'm gonna remove the water pump pulley. Once that's off, then I should have more than enough room to get this off. So I'm gonna see how to keep this from spinning while I try unbolting it. Once I get that off, everything should fall right out. All right, I just got this off. Finally, I got it off. This seems pretty good, actually, not making a sound, which is slightly concerning, but it's all right, it's whatever. I actually had to not disconnect, but I had to move a little bracket for a little connector. I'll show y'all so that this could actually slip out, because if not, there's really no room. So I'll show you that, but I finally got this off. So let's go ahead and put the new one on. You can see right here, there was a little connector right here. I just disconnected it. I mean, I didn't disconnect it, I just unbolted it. It goes right here on this side, and the other side just goes right here onto part of the frame. I just, unbolted it, just some 10mm, and that actually gave me enough clearance to get the friction tensioner off. All right, that is it. I finally finished putting everything on. It wasn't actually that bad putting it back on. I thought it'd be a lot worse, but you can see the tensioner there and the new pulley right there. I'm gonna, we're gonna turn it on real quick just to see how it sounds, how it looks. Everything is correctly on, and make sure that your tensioner actually has tension, because I pulled this off obviously to release the tension to be able to slip this on, and it's really actually not that bad tightening those three bolts. All I did is I put it on, I put each bolt on, and I tightened it very lightly, and then I gave it some tension by unreleasing this, giving it tension, of course. That way I could hold it with my right hand, hold the actual wheel with my right hand, and get the wrench, which was just a regular 10mm wrench, and I use it to really tighten it as hard as possible. And there's no real torque figures for that, because there's no, real way of torquing that, because it's, on a moving surface. So tighten it as best as you can. I got it really well. Same thing here with the tensioner. I tightened everything. I had to use the regular wrench for this one right here, and the offset one, which, by the way, this is just the most perfect offset for this job. I mean, it clears over this perfectly from behind, so you can actually go like 270 degrees over the actual tensioner. I really, really recommend these. These are Icon. I got these at Harbor Freight. 50 bucks for 5, but they have 2 on each end, so it's really not that bad. I went ahead and tightened everything down, and you can see I can even tighten it from here. Everything is correct. Everything is on. Now it's time to just turn it on and see what it sounds like, and check to see if everything is totally good. Okay, turn it on. All right, we just turned it on, turned the AC on, turned it off, turned the car back off, turned it back on. Everything looks really good, actually. Everything sounds good. Everything looks good. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy. We're gonna have to drive it, of course, get the car really warm, see if it responds well and if, you know, that sound comes back, which it shouldn't. Which, by the way, also, I forgot to mention, we did not change the Serpentine belt because we checked it and it's pretty much brand new. We had a friend change it for us recently, but we totally forgot. So we ordered the Serpentine belt. We're gonna return it, but it looks good. Everything looks nice, tight, and solid. Everything is tightened all the way. I'm really happy. It wasn't that hard to do. It was just really tedious trying to get, you know, fiddle with little screws and trying to reach into places with no reach. If I had access, this would have taken an hour max, but there's not a lot of space, at least on the Countryman S. You know, different platforms have different amounts of space, as I believe the Cooper has more space than the Countryman. I don't know why. I'm gonna put everything back on, the liner, which is gonna be an absolute pain, and the wheel, and then we should be good from there. Because, I mean, the main thing is totally done. It wasn't all that bad. All right, that is that. Wheel is on, wheel liner is on. What an absolute pain it is to put this wheel liner on. In fact, we got so annoyed of it using these stupid little clips that, these are barely reusable. You gotta like find a little pin. Most of the time they break, that we just started using screws instead. Perfect thread screws that we found, all matching screws. Really happy with that. I would recommend you do that. A lot of people have done this to replace the little plastic pins with screws because the pins are not reusable pretty much. They break, they suck. You have to go to the BMW or Mini dealer near you or order them on Amazon. It sucks. But we put screws on. We of course have our new mud flaps on, which I haven't shown y'all. And by the way, also check these out. We also got these brand new lights. Really cool, check them out. They look really, really nice. Big fan, and they look super cool, like them. But that is all. We have successfully installed a brand new belt idler pulley tensioner thing. I still don't know the exact name to call it, but it's that, and of course our water pump pulley. We did not end up changing the Serpentine belt because it was brand new. We completely forgot that we had a friend change it already. So we installed those brand new parts. So far, it's been nothing but great. We're gonna go ahead and drive it, see what it's like, but I assume it should be very well because we heard it here. AC on, AC off, turn it off, turn it on, and everything was pretty good. So hopefully this helped y'all if y'all were looking for a tutorial or needed some help installing it. It's very involved. It's not hard, it's just tedious. So hopefully this video helped y'all, but if it did or didn't, I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Take care.